Am I the asshole? For making my stepson share the snacks he brought with his own candy with his sister. My F32 husband M40 has a son M17 from a previous relationship. We have a 8-year-old daughter together and a baby 7 months. My stepson got a part-time job around Christmas. He works in Starbucks. He's using his money to buy mostly gaming equipment, games, and clothes, but sometimes he also buys snacks. They're not special snacks or anything, just Doritos or chips from the store. He likes to have some bags to eat while he's playing. He brought a big pack of stuff yesterday after work. When he came home, my daughter asked him what he brought and started looking through the stuff. He had some candy and she asked for some. He told her those candies were his and told her to not touch it. She insisted on having some, and as he said no again, they started arguing and she then cried. She came crying to me, waking up my youngest son, who's teething by the way, and told me what happened. So I told my son to just share some candy with her and help. He argued that he brought it with his own money so he doesn't have to give her anything. I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money so we could use the same logic. He continued arguing until I threatened him to ground him and he finally gave in. He was upset afterwards. When my husband came home, he told him what happened, and after dinner my husband called MW off for treating stepson as a little kid. He said that since he's being responsible with a job and getting his own money, then he should get to decide if he wants to share his snacks or not, and told me to not get my frustration out on his son. Am I the asshole? You're the asshole. She's your child, buy her snacks. Also, poor form to teach her that crying will get her what she wants. She's 8, too old for that shit. Also, you paying to feed your minor stepson isn't comparable. That is you literally doing your job as a parent. You're the asshole. You caved because your daughter cried for not getting her own way. Your stepson paid for the snacks out of money and had every right not to share. If you had said you'd reimburse him, then that would have been better, but ultimately the decision was his to make. I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money so we could use the same logic. No, you can't, because you are adults who are legally and morally responsible for feeding your children. He's a teenager who has no such responsibility to his sister. Major, you're the asshole. He is working to earn money that he can do whatever he likes with. Meanwhile, you are raising your daughter to be a spoiled brat who can't hear the word no because she'll just throw a tantrum to get what she wants. You're the asshole. Your stepson bought that with his own money, for himself. Who made you the snack police? Also, it's never ever cool to imply or tell children that you're doing them a favor by feeding them. You are obligated by law to care for the children in your custody. Your children didn't ask to be born. Finally, I think it's interesting that he's my stepson when he's working and playing video games, but he's my son when you're telling him what to do. I don't know what it means, but I think it's worth pointing out. Who's teething, by the way? Info: how is this relevant? You're the asshole. Those are his snacks and you're teaching your daughter that she can get whatever she wants when she throws a tantrum. You don't get to decide what he does with the stuff he buys with his own money. You're the asshole. What you should have done in that situation was explain to your daughter that he bought that candy with his own money, so it is his, and no amount of crying or tantrum throwing, even if it wakes up the baby, will get her way for her. You could have told her she could do some chores to earn money to buy her own candy. Such a teachable moment. But you copped out and threatened your stepson in order for you to not have to deal with the tantrum. His money, his choice. So you're the asshole for that. An 8-year-old is old enough to know no, that's not yours, so she's kinder an ass too. And if you enable her entitled tantrums, you're the asshole for that too. And as for I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money, it is your legal obligation to buy food for your children. And the 8-year-old is not his child, she's yours, so your logic is actually nonsense. Don't be the evil stepmother. You're the asshole. Your daughter is 8, not 2. Teach her no. Your stepson worked for that money, and unless you have some type of agreement about how he can spend his money, he's free to use it for himself and not share. And saying that you can use the same logic for the groceries you buy. No, you can't. You are the parents. That is literally your job. It is not his job to provide candy to your daughter. You're the asshole. Pay him back and apologize. Tell him you were frustrated and handled it wrong and it won't happen again, and that he is in charge of his own money. Also, you're legally required to feed him. He is a minor and you are his caregiver. It's not the same situation at all. You're the asshole. Your husband and you share your money with your minor children because they are your responsibility. Your stepson didn't father your child, so he shouldn't be responsible for using his money to pay for candy for your child. You're the asshole. Set the 8-year-old up with some basic chores to earn some money. I'll wager she wouldn't want to share either. You're the asshole. This could have been an opportunity to teach your daughter about boundaries and how sharing is nice if someone wants to, but it's okay if they don't. Instead, you steamrolled your stepson and taught your daughter if she cries she gets her way. Spoiled brat in the making. You're the asshole. He earned that money and chose to spend it on snacks and things. It's his choice to share with anyone, or not. You are required to provide food, housing, and support for your children until they turn 18. It's not his responsibility to provide for his stepsister. Your daughter is old enough to know what no means. You just taught your daughter that not only is it okay to push when someone tells her no, but also that she can whine and tattle to you, to get her own way. I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money, so we could use the same logic. Not at all. You and hubby are legally obligated to provide food for your children. Stepson has no similar responsibility. 8 years old is not too young to understand that. No can a complete end of discussion. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. He earned that money and chose to spend it on snacks and things. It's his choice to share with anyone, or not. You are required to provide food, housing, and support for your children until they turn 18. It's not his responsibility to provide for his stepsister. Your daughter is old enough to know what no means. You just taught your daughter that not only is it okay to push when someone tells her no, but also that she can whine and tattle to you, to get her own way. You're the asshole. Your daughter threw a tantrum over candy that wasn't hers, woke up your teething baby, and gets rewarded with the candy. That's bad parenting and clear favoritism. Oh, if she woke up the baby, then she's definitely entitled to eat snacks that she has no claim to. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. You and your husband are adults and responsible for feeding the children in your care. Your stepson is a kid and he is not responsible for buying snacks for his sister. Do you really not see the difference between those two things? It honestly sounds like you were not in the mood to parent your daughter, and bullying your stepson was easier than teaching your daughter to understand the word no. Did you seriously compare a teenager using their own money for treats to you and his father buying family groceries? Seriously, his father has a legal obligation to, feed his child. Very much you're the asshole, both for making him share his hard-earned snacks and for making it seem like it would be reasonable to withhold family groceries as a tit-for-tat lesson. I'm sure you could have asked your stepson nicely to help you out and give her some because you were stressed, and he probably would have. But threatening him? JFC, you're the asshole. AITA. First, it was a great lesson to teach your daughter that all she had to do is whine to get her way. Second, you are teaching your son he has to hide things to not be harassed. Third, it's his money. If your daughter wants snacks, as a parent, it's your job to provide them. You're the asshole. You just taught your daughter she can cry, wake up the baby and get candy for doing it. Shitty parenting. You're the asshole. And while you're at it, teach that little brat to stop looking through other people's shit.